What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, we are going over Solana as its price could be in danger of seeing another fall of up to 10 to 15% over the next week or two here. And so with that said, I want to make sure you are as prepared as possible for that. So with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into today's video. Now, looking at Solana here, we can see that its price did make the move below 1178 that I warned you guys about. I said, look, we're in a range right now. We've put in about a triple top up here, which is now acting as our door. And if we were capable of breaking 1508, we were in a great position to see a $20 push, right? Or a push back up towards $20. We seemed as if we were going to be setting up some type of cup and handle pattern or inverse head and shoulders, but it all came down to breaking this 1508 level. I said, we absolutely do not want to get rejected off of this and lose our 618 to the downside, because if that's the case, then that starts to get a little bit less likely, and a push downwards is more likely. Well, that's exactly what's happening right now. We got rejected again off of this $15.08 level. We then came back down to our range low from swing low. Here we go. Let's get that pulled up. From swing low to swing high. We entered into our golden zone, the 618 to 786 zone. It seemed as if we were going to hold some support. If you look at the 4-hour charts, we got forced into like a little bit of a triangle here between these two levels. But sadly, we did get the force to the downside, broke out to the bottom side, and now seem to be in position to see a continuation to the downside from here. Now, I told you this was the decision maker. If we held this 1178 level, we were in a great position to see a return back to the top side off of a great retracement to the downside. But losing this level could be quite detrimental, and that's the situation in which we are in now. Now, we do have one last saving grace, and that is this $11 level that we're at now. It seems as if because we are putting in what could be a possible double bottom, that if we do hold here, there could be implications of a move back to the top side that we would of course cover if we're capable of bouncing back above 1250 from here. But while we're below 1250 and while we are testing this bottom side here, let me tell you exactly what to prepare for. Now, what I'm paying attention to is the fact that our MACD does seem to be on the verge of a bearish cross. This is going to be one of the leading decision makers here. If we're going to see this bottom side hold, and if we're going to see support hold and get a bounce, we may very well see this MACD bounce, right? We may very well see a touch and a continuation back up towards bullish territory. We've seen things like that similarly, right? Right here, right here. We've seen it even back here. We've seen this happen before, even back here kind of, right? But we need to see that hold. And so I'm paying very close attention to this MACD because it's going to tell us if we nosedive here and maybe even do something like that, come back to retest and then see a continuation, the likelihood is we're going to see the full extension to the downside. My guess, we come back down towards $10.11 or maybe even a further capitulation towards $9. Both of those moves look like a move from here of either, about 10% all the way up to 18%. And I think that our MACD is going to be a leading indicator of that. Now, I do also believe that it is important to note why I'm expecting a move that low, and it's basic Fibonacci's. What typically will happen in a situation like this is that if you lose this 618 to 786 level, you then are in position to come revisit your range low. If you revisit your range low and do not hold it, don't get that double bottom yet, you see maybe a bounce, a pushback, and then a rejection, you are then in position to see a 1.272 fib extension or a 1.618 Fibonacci extension to the downside. So for us, again, as I mentioned earlier, that looks like a push towards $10.11, or if that level is lost even further, a push to $9.06. We can see a really good example of this back what we saw in May and June, right? You can see here, we came all the way down, we put in a low, we put in a high, that gives us a range. Off of that range high and low, we came back down to set the 618 to 786 support. The moment we lost it, we came back down to where? To the range low. Look at this. Range low, retested, we capitulated off range low, came straight to 1.272. Once we lost 1.272, where did we go down to before finding some support? Oh, the 1.618. And that is exactly where we closed at, held support, and started to see some growth off of. So you can see here, the moment this level was lost, we came straight down to range low. Once that's lost, these extensions become much more likely. So again, for us, we're in that situation where we're testing range low. Do we maybe get some sideways movement and a bounce back above the 786 level at 1250? Then we're in a great position to maybe see some growth. Or are we about to lose range low and then start to capitulate even more towards the downside? That's what you need to be on the lookout for right here. Of course, I am not saying what is going to happen because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict the future. But technical analysis isn't about being right. It's about being prepared. So my preparations right now consist of being ready for a possible short trade here. I think if we do break down below $11 and we back test it and reach it as resistance and get rejected, I will open up a bit of a short trade because the likelihood is there we are going to see some type of push towards the downside, especially if our MACD is starting to converge to the downside, okay? I think there is a decent short trade to take on there, but remember, we're somewhere around the bottom of a bear market right now. So the more you short right now, the more at risk you are of shorting at a bottom, and the next thing you know, you get liquidated, okay? Now, under an event in which we are capable of breaking above 1250, that would be the point where I would be a little bit more optimistic and maybe start to prepare some buys, but I don't have any, plans for buying right now while we are in a position to see some type of capitulation. I would rather be buying after that capitulation ends, or we clear this massive level of resistance and open up doors of opportunity to the top side. So that's how I'm preparing, and I hope you guys do take some notes from this and apply it to your own preparations. So with that said, that is going to be about it for today's quick Solana update. I hope you guys had an absolutely amazing holiday weekend, and I hope this new year is one that treats you extremely well. But with that said, that's going to be about it for today's update. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all next time. Peace.